So we're taking a look at Piano Man. Now, in this case, we're gonna have a descending bass line, moving from C all the way down to D, then jumping up to G, jumping up to C. Now, how would you harmonize a bass line like that? Well, you could play a C chord. The typical answer for the 7th of the major scale is not to play the 7th, because it's quite dissonant. Usually you would hear a 5 chord over its 3rd. So that's a G chord, and its 3rd, 1, 2, 3, as B. Right? The alternative is a 3 chord, E minor, with its 5th as a bass note. But we're playing G over B. Okay, A. You could harmonize that as A minor, and then G major, and then F major, and then E minor, and D minor. You could do that, but that's not what Billy Joel does in this song. He essentially tries to make the song more interesting by playing less interesting chords, in a way. He just plays C, G, or F in the right hand. That's all he plays. So F in first inversion, G or C in second inversion. Meaning this is C, putting this note up here, putting that note up there. Right? So C second inversion, G and F first inversion. That's all I'm going to be playing here in my right hand. My left hand is going to go down, playing this bass line we talked about earlier. So what do we play on A? Well, we can't play a C chord. I mean, we could, but we would get A minor 7th, which is possible, that's fine, but it's not what we're doing right here. We could play G over A, which is a really warm and lush chord, I love it, but there's no A in this chord, and we are matching it here. Billy Joel plays F over A. Now we could play a G chord here, but we also could play a C chord over G, and maybe that would be more interesting, right? So what do we get so far? C, G, F, C. Now here we'll have to play F, here we'll have to play C. On this D, we would play G, right? Because G has the note D within it. C doesn't, F also doesn't, but G does. However, as a jazz-inspired musician, Billy Joel wants to do a 2, 5, 1, which is a very common chord progression in jazz music. So here he just plays this F, making it a D minor 7th, going to G, going to C, and that basically sums up the largest part of this song. Only adaptation I would make up until this point is when you have a 3rd in our bass, we're not going to play it here. So I'd rather play 1, 5, 1 or 5, 1, 5. Just because the voicing is a bit prettier that way. So we would get. You could play F over G. I'm actually not sure what Billy does. Whether it's this one or that one. But either will have dominant function. Okay. Which part are we missing? Well, it's this part. So what do we do there? We're going to the relative minor. We are in the key of C major. A minor shares a lot of notes with C major. And A minor has sort of a tonic kind of feel. Not dominant, not subdominant. It can be subdominant as well. It's kind of a weird one. But because it looks so much like the 1 chord, like the tonic, it's gonna serve kind of a tonic function here. Then Billy does something surprising. in the key of A minor, let's imagine we just modulated to A minor, a D major chord would be borrowed from Dorian, or maybe from melodic minor, but it would contain a major sixth as opposed to, or in a relative to A minor. Right? So that's a mild surprise, making it a bit brighter and a bit more interesting. But it's not just that. We're also playing E minor, D major, G, which is a 2-5-1 in the key of G. I told you it's jazz inspired, so we are basically elaborating on a movement that will lead us to G. And then when we are on G, we play a minor seventh, making it dominant, so we can go back to C and play the rest of the song. So that's how Piano Man works. Now, if you like this kind of content, you could subscribe and maybe you would get more of it on your feed.